Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you guys are new here. So in today's video, we're doing something we haven't done here in a hot minute, and that is just a classic chit chat, get ready with me. So you guys want to see how I got this makeup look and honestly just to hang out with me while I put on my makeup and tell you guys my experience at the Taylor Swift concert, well then definitely keep on watching. I look absolutely fantastic. Do you guys see this right now? My hair, she's a mess. And the reason being is I have such a pounding headache, but the show must go on. I have to do my job. So there is no rest. We are here to film. And I just want to do like, honest to God, a simple, just a chit chat, get ready with me, where I'm not reviewing any makeup or anything. I'm just hanging out with my friends, telling you guys a story. So I'm going to go ahead and we're just going to start putting on makeup. I may or may not show you guys what I'm using, but I will have everything that I'm using on my face listed down below, just in case you guys want to know. So I'm going to go ahead and start doing my eyes. I just want to let you guys know I am going to use the new What's Up Beauty, the Desert Monsoon palette. And I'm just going to play with the shades Cactus, Sun, and this shade called Cannon today. That's what we're going to play with, and their new brushes just to try them out. But this is honestly not a review. This is just a get ready with me. So last week, I told you guys that I went to a Taylor Swift concert, and that was my very first. All about it, so buckle up. So back when the tickets first went on pre-sale with the Capital One pre-sale, God, I want to say, I swear it was around like October or September. I honestly don't remember when it was at this point. I was part of that whole fiasco where I waited for like 6-7 hours in line trying to get tickets for Taylor Swift. And it was in October. It was in October because I had my Capital One credit card. And I was like waiting in line, and me and Paige have been texting all day trying to get tickets for this show. And I remember just it crashing. By the time I finally got to the area where I could pick out tickets, it just kept saying that every ticket that I wanted, oops, somebody else already got it. Oops, somebody else already got it. So I was getting like pretty like upset because I originally wanted to get tickets. I've never been able to go to Taylor Swift's show. I've always wanted to, but just things never worked out where I've been able to actually go get tickets for her show. So I thought maybe this would be the first time, especially since this is the Era show. I know it's gonna be her biggest show ever. So I was really, really devastated when I couldn't get tickets. Like I was very devastated, and believe me, it was not for a lack of trying. So for months and months, I constantly went on Ticketmaster, StubHub, Vivid Seats, SeatGeek, Game Time. Like I went on all these different like pretty much reseller apps to try to see if I could find affordable Taylor Swift tickets, and I just was not willing to spend minimum $800 per ticket to sit in the freaking nosebleed seats. I was like, this is not happening. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to sit here and spend this money to sit in the nosebleed seats where I feel like I'm not even going to be able to see her. Now, granted, looking at it now, there really is no bad seat at her show. Like, truly, there's no bad seat. But I just didn't want to spend that money to sit in, like, nosebleed seats. So fast forward to about a month ago when she started to... Fast forward to like a month ago when she first went on tour. I was there for her opening night. I was on her Glendale, Arizona. Thank God for TikTok, because somebody was live streaming her concert on TikTok the very first night. And she came on at 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which was going to be 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time because she started off in the West Coast. So it was at 11 o'clock and I was a part of the live stream, okay? And I watched the entire concert from start to finish. And she finished around 3:15 a.m. my time. And let me tell you, I was struggling to stay awake because I'm an old lady now, okay? I'm in bed by 11 o'clock. I'm an old lady. So staying up that late was very, very hard for me because I was like, I want to go to sleep, but I wanted to see her whole show because I've never been able to go to the previous shows for various different reasons. So I was like, I knew I wanted to see the show. So I stayed up to watch it. And then I watched her second night. And then it became a tradition that every single week leading up to the Tampa show, I was watching her concert in full. Well, it was probably like two to 3 weeks ago. Me and Paige have been contemplating whether or not we were going to go and just say, screw it, we're going to get reseller tickets because I'm desperate to go to her show. I've been watching it every single night. Where's my setting powder? I'm just going to use this to blend it out. I've been watching her show every single night. I want to go. I really, really want to go. So I was like, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to get reseller tickets. I'm just going to get the nosebleed tickets. Like, it is what it is. I'll just put it on a credit card and just call it and just say, screw it, I want to go. So luckily, I'm not kidding when I say very, very, very luckily, on a random Tuesday, about a week and a half before her show, she had just finished her Arlington set. I happened to see that reseller tickets went down tremendously. I mean, they went down to like $300, and I was like, whoa, what happened? Well, lo and behold, Ticketmaster decided to release more tickets. Now, I was waiting to get a text message because Paige got a text message that she was able to go buy tickets, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, maybe I'll get my text message too. I didn't. They only handed it out to a handful of people, so I was not one of those people that got that text message, even though I was part of the pre-sale, verified fan pre-sale with Capital One credit card. Didn't get the text message. It is what it is. But so Paige was able to get tickets, and she was letting me know, like, hey, tickets are on sale. And I happened to be on SeatGeek and saw that this one section that I really wanted was stupid cheap for what it was. So I was like, screw it, and I put it on my credit card, and I got it for me and Corey. And it was one of the best decisions I've ever done because, you know, you could just pay off your credit card. And so we got the tickets, and I was just so floored because I had been watching her show for 3 weeks leading up to that point. I've been trying to get reseller tickets for months leading up to that point, checking on it all the time to see if anyone dropped the prices. I got the tickets, and when I got the tickets, I cried. I mean, like, literally, I cried. I didn't even think I was going to cry, but I literally cried. I could not help it. I cried, and I was like, I can't believe I'm crying right now, but I was just so unbelievably ecstatic that something I've been wanting to see for so long is finally coming to fruition. So I got us the tickets, and I was so excited. We went to the first night, so her Thursday night show. And we live in Orlando, and it's in Tampa, so that's probably about like an hour and a half drive, depending on the traffic. Well, I knew that traffic was going to be pretty bad because of everybody warning us like weeks before on TikTok saying, hey, traffic's really bad, you want to get there early. So driving, if you guys that live in Florida, I-4 is just a freaking joke when it comes to traffic because it's just so chaotic. So I knew that I wanted to leave a little bit earlier, and I'm so glad we did because on the way there, several cars got into accidents, so it really, really like backed everything up. But we were able to get there at 1 o'clock. Parking didn't open till 2, but we were able to go and get there at 1. So we just kind of waited in this long line, and I was so freaking excited. We parked, and then we go to the stadium. Now, I'm not thinking really about merch at that time because I was seeing that the merch truck was there the day before. It was super chaotic. People waited like 6 hours to get merchandise. Insane. I just didn't have the heart to wait that long. I was like, no, thank you. I'm not gonna wait that long. So we just happened to walk over to the stadium. We were trying to find our entrance because we knew that Paige was going to be there at some point, but she was staying at a hotel, so she was going to her hotel and stuff like that. So we were just gonna meet up at the venue. But literally, we get there, and Corey's like, hey, I have to go use the bathroom. So he went to the porta potties, and I was like, all right. Well, I saw people standing in this line, and I was like, oh, what's this line for? Not really knowing what this line was for. I just stood in line because I thought, like, legit, this was just going to be like a, oh, I need to cut the crease. I bet you I could use this to cut the crease. So I got in line to scan my tickets to get in, and I didn't really realize what line I was standing in line for until some cop came out and yelled at everybody to get out of the road and to move over. So I was like, oh, okay, what are we moving over for? And then I happened to just actually look up, and I saw that we were standing in line for the merch truck, and I was like, oh shit, this is the merch line. And I had no idea that's what I was standing in. But I was like, all right, well, while I'm here, the line wasn't really that bad. Let me just go ahead and see what type of merch I can get for me and Corey. So we're standing in line, and they have us move from the side of the road. So we end up being like in 5 lines, all kind of going into like 2 lines. Well, I don't know what happened, but somehow when our lines were like converging to get on the sidewalk and off the road, I somehow got like pushed to the front of the line. Don't ask me how. Corey thinks I could just, Corey said like, well, you kind of walked over there a little bit. I'm like, well, they were trying to get us to move. And I wasn't the only one, by the way. I was not the only one. I did not just cut. But I literally got kind of like pushed to the front of the line. So I was like, all right, well, I'm here. And I was like making friends with everybody in line too. I was like talking to them. We were engaging. We were saying like, because one, it was so massively hot. Oh my God. It was like 90 degrees out. So hot. We were like looking at everybody's outfits, the makeup. And I was just like really getting into talking to people, whatever. And I wanted to let people know like, hey, I'm not trying to cut you. Just so you know, like I just got pushed over here. But everybody was like super cool, which was the oddest thing because at Disney, that's not the same case. If you accidentally like cut someone in line at Disney or whatnot, I mean, you will get your ass handed to you. These people at Disney are no joke. They're like, bitch. They don't play there. So, and I would know because I'm one of them. Don't cut me in line at Disney, okay? Anyway, so we're sitting there and I get up to the front and I felt so bad because like people who I saw were in line in front of me when we were on the road are now behind me and I'm just like, ooh. Let me get this. So bad. But I was like apologetic and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And they're all like, no, go ahead. Go ahead. Especially because like at that point it was just me. So I got me and Corey some merchandise and I was trying to get Paige some merchandise, but they didn't have her sizing. So unfortunately I wasn't able to get it for her. But I was literally in and out of that merchandise line within like 15 minutes, which is just insane because if you guys have been on TikTok and seen this, this truck that sits outside, it's a fiasco to get like this blue crew neck sweater, which by the way I did get, and they had plenty in stock, so I don't know what this urgency was for it. It's a nice sweater, it is. I haven't washed my stuff yet because I'm way too scared to, but I literally just like waited in there for 15 minutes, I got my stuff, and then I bounced out. So then we just kind of had to wait until about 4 o'clock before they actually opened the gates. I mean, Corey had to go to our section. And when we went to our section, we were realizing that we were standing in the VIP line, but we didn't have VIP passes, but that's where our gate was the East Club area. And so we had to wait there and everybody has a lanyard and VIP is supposed to go in an hour or VIP is supposed to go in 30 minutes earlier. But for some reason they were not letting them in either. So I felt like a little bad because we're sitting here waiting in line and I'm like, whoa, what's going to happen? Are they going to like kick us out because we're the only ones in line not wearing a lanyard? But by the time that we got up to the gate, it was 4 o'clock. So we just got to go right on in. And that was the first time I've been to the Raymond James Stadium before, but that was the first time I've actually been to it on like the bar 37 side, where it's like a really nice indoor spot with all these different like restaurants and bars. Super nice. We went in there and I was like, wow, I was blown away by how gorgeous the inside was. So we went and got 2 drinks and we found a spot and we honestly just waited. We chilled out. We waited. We were trying to meet up with Paige at that point because she was on her way. And we were just seriously just having a good time, just enjoying like cocktails before the show. And it was just so fascinating because I did not see one person be mean to somebody. And I just thought that was like the most unique thing because I've been to plenty of concerts in my day and I have seen people get in fights over the tiniest freaking stuff, like over the tiniest freaking shit. Nope, everybody was so polite. People were passing around friendship bracelets, which I was trying to get one and I didn't get one. I was so sad. I wanted a friendship bracelet. So yeah, we just waited there and then we got to go to our seating area. We hung out there for a bit. We ate, we drank, and then we got to meet up with Paige, who had floor seats. We got to meet up with her because she waited in the merch line downstairs and was able to get herself some merchandise. So we just got to meet up with her and her mom. We probably hung out for like a good hour before the show started, which was a really great time. And I don't know if you guys know, there's another fellow content creator on here. Her channel name is Batty Bean, but her real name is Betty. Her and I were actually trying to meet up because she was at the show too. And I was so excited. I was like, oh, we finally get to meet. But we were literally on the opposite side of the stadiums. So by the time that she got there was just no way for her and I to meet up like at all. By the way, I have to say this is actually a really pretty palette. I'm so busy talking about this. I'm not really acknowledging this palette. I think it's a really pretty palette. I think the shimmers are laying down really nicely. They're very soft, creamy, buttery. I'm liking this palette. Like, I'm not having any issues with it whatsoever. Let me just quickly do the other eye. All right, so I'm switching things up for my face base just because I want to use some makeup that I haven't used in a hot minute. So we're going to go with the One Size Secure the Blur. So anyway, back to the concert. So after we met with Paige and her mom, Nikki, we went to our seats and they went down to their floor seats, which was so funny because like where we were sitting, we could literally see Paige and her mom, which I thought was absolutely fantastic because I could just be like, hey, turn around. And she'd turn around and she waved up at me, which I was so excited about. So I actually got like some really fun footage of her and her mom. But we get to our seats and the area around me started filling up. The people that sat on our right-hand side, they were only there because they had free tickets to the show, because they are season pass holders for the Buck games. So that's like their seats. So because they're season pass holders, they spent a lot of money for that, by the way. They get to go to any show that shows up there for free. So they just showed up because they had free tickets, and they're like, we just wanted to go. They wanted to just have a good time, drink and have a good time. And then I had a mom and daughter that sat next to me, and then I had 2 girls sit behind me. Now these 2 girls, they were getting in it, and I was like, oh, we're gonna get along. We're gonna get along. So the show is getting ready to start, and I am getting so excited because, mind you, I have been seeing her show for the last 3 weeks at that time on TikTok. And then we see the janitor cart roll in on the opposite side of the arena, and everybody starts going crazy because everybody knows Taylor Swift is hiding in that janitor closet, that janitor cart. And I was just like, there she is. They started, the countdown is like pretty much as soon as she rolled up. The countdown started at like 3 minutes. So I was getting really excited because it was a clock counting down to midnight for when she was going to come on. And then the second that concerts in my life, okay, plenty of concerts and see my favorite bands, but there was something about seeing Taylor Swift that I guess I just wasn't ready for. I wasn't prepared for the emotions that were going to overcome me in that moment. So when she starts coming out and the music starts, and it's like, it's been a long time coming, I was singing along with that. And I distinctly remember the one part when, you know, the music's on and like the dancers are coming out, this big like wavy thing, and she's like, and it said speak now, big reputation, like just parts that she sings throughout that song. She's not really singing it, it's like an audio. I was singing exactly with it. And I remember the mom looked right at the daughter and she's like, how does she know what's gonna be said? Like, how does she know? And I just want to be like, because I've seen the opening for 3.5 weeks. I've seen the whole show. I know exactly what she's gonna play for the most part, unless she did like any surprise songs. So the second that Taylor came out and she's like, it's been a long time coming, she starts singing Miss Americana. The screams that came out of me was unreal. But it wasn't just that. It's the fact that I started to cry. And I was like, I cannot believe that I'm crying right now, because I literally was getting emotional. And I've never had that happen before. I've never gotten emotional seeing a show, concert. I take that back. The only thing that's ever made me emotional show-wise was seeing Happily Ever After, because I get emotional every time Happily Ever After comes on, because there's something about hearing Elton John sing You'll Be in My Heart. I think I just think about my loved ones who are no longer here with me, so I just get like emotional during that scene. But anyway, that's beside the point. So I started getting emotional, and I could not believe I was getting emotional, because I was like, oh my gosh, I've never had that happen before. And Corey can see. Corey was like seeing me like smile. I was crying. I was laughing. And the girls behind me were screaming just as loud as I was. And I was like, I'm so glad I'm not in this alone. The mom and daughter next to me, they were like getting into it, but you could tell that they were like, I don't know. I guess they don't really know her Lover album as much as I do. I don't know. But she sang Miss Americana, and then she goes straight into Cruel Summer. And when she went to Cruel Summer, oh my gosh, y'all, the way that she crossed her first bridge and she asked everybody to sing along with her, I did not realize that I was capable of acting like I was the singer. Okay, I was acting like I was Taylor Swift, because I was singing, I mean, obnoxiously loud on top of my lungs. But the thing is, it's so loud, like I feel like you don't even like hear how loud you're being. And when we go to cross the bridge, I am going like, 'cause I'm drunk in the back of the car and I cry like a baby coming home from the bar. Oh, and I mean, like, I was going psychotic. But you know what? I wasn't alone. I looked down. There's people down there doing it, people over here doing it, and then the older couple next to me, they were just like, oh geez, the fact that everybody knows this song, you could just tell they were just not knowing what was happening. And I am just losing my mind. I'm filming all of this, and I was just literally having the best time. But I think what was really cool is that we were wearing these bracelets, and the bracelets light up to go with the color of what they're showing. So it just kept flashing, making really cool designs, which I thought was like the coolest thing in the world. I have never seen that before. Let me just try using this. Never seen that before. So I was really just having the time of my life. And after she did Cruel Summer, she went into like having like a nice little quick conversation with us. And oh my gosh, the quality of her cameras and like the screen was just phenomenal. Like you could see her crystal clear. It didn't matter where you were. They had cameras at all angles. They had like a screen at all angles. So even if you were sitting like in the back nosebleed, it still felt like you were so close because of how well her camera monitors was and how they were just like facing the audience. And it was just such an experience like I'll never forget. I will never forget that. Then she played You Need to Calm Down, and it was like sunset, and then seeing like the whole rainbow go across the whole audience was just the coolest thing. And like knowing that like everybody is singing the song with you, it was just unbelievable. And I think what was kind of scary though was that since we were on, I want to say we were on the 3rd level is where I think we were at, because there was like some really like hype songs, like You Need to Calm Down. Oh my God, Corey, we were swaying, but all of us were just getting so into it. Like it didn't matter. We were all swaying. But the guy next to us said that he's been to every single Buck game and he has never felt the stadium sway than it was right at that moment. And it was just such good memories that I will never ever forget. After she did her Lover set, she went into her Fearless set, which was really, really cool. And then she went into her Evermore era, and I love her Evermore album era. There's something about it that I just feel like. So I fell in love with it, and there are certain songs that I really wanted her to play, and she did. And looking back at that moment, when you hear, if you guys follow me on Instagram, I was posting stories, right? You can hear how much, why am I using this? This is still great tone. I don't know why I use this. You can hear how loud I was, where I literally thought that I was Taylor Swift the way that I was singing on top of my lungs, because I was just really getting into it. I don't know why I just use this seriously like this, but I was like just really getting into it. I mean, I was screaming on top of my lungs to the point that my voice started to kind of give out. And I didn't realize how loud and how hard I was going when I was singing until we get to, oh God, what song was it that I was losing? Oh, it's when we get to the Reputation side. So we get to the Reputation side of the tour, and the song Don't Blame Me came on. The way that I sang, I mean, I screamed on top of my lung. My voice was like shaking. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize like how much I was like really going crazy and really going hard until that moment. And I remember being like, at one point, at the end of that song, told Corey that like, ooh, my vocal cords are starting to like hurt, but in a way that I never felt before, to the point that at one point I went to swallow and I felt like I couldn't swallow. Like I genuinely felt like I couldn't swallow. My voice started cracking when I was talking to Corey. It was cracking, it was shaking, and I genuinely felt like I couldn't swallow. I was like, oh my God, Corey, I can't swallow, I can't swallow. He goes, breathe, breathe, breathe. And I was like, okay, I can swallow. But for some reason, I thought in my head I just was not being able to swallow. Well, then she ended up going into the Red album and she played All Too Well. And let me tell you, I lost it all too well. I also cried during All Too Well. I could not control myself. It just like physically came out. I had no self-control. But it was during her All Too Well portion that I knew I needed to slow down with how loud I was like screaming. And like I wasn't the only one, everybody around me was doing it. But because it got to the point where I literally felt like this really weird strain on my vocal cords, like this weird like strain, and it started to like feel like I was getting a really bad sore throat, the best way to put it. And I was like, oh no. And then it started to like really feel like I couldn't swallow at that moment. And I was like, am I like damaging my throat? So I had to stop singing as loud as I was, but I didn't realize I was singing that loud because it's so loud that you don't realize that at that moment you were just like screaming your head off. I wasn't realizing that I was doing that. So I was just having the time of my life, but it was like literally one of the best experiences. I will never forget her show. I'm extremely grateful that I have been pretty much a stalker for weeks and months on end trying to get tickets, and I'm so glad that I did. It was worth every single penny, and I'm really glad that I got to experience that with my husband. I saw a lot of you guys, because I made a post about it on Instagram, which if you guys haven't seen it, go see it. And a lot of you guys were like, oh, I'm so like, that was so sweet that Corey went with you. Corey wanted to go. He really does enjoy Taylor Swift, and he really wanted to experience something as big as that, and I wouldn't have had it any other way. Like, I know my best friend, she wanted to go with me, but I just wanted to have my husband there because, like, he's also my best friend. And those are, like, memories that him and I get to, like, experience together. So I wouldn't have wanted to have it any other way. It was so cool. And then, like, to know that straight hair, but then throughout the night, her hair started getting super, super frizzy, super wavy. And I texted Paige the moment and I said, she's just like us. She's just like us. Because her hair was getting so wavy and frizzy. And I'm like, ooh, girl. Want to stay straight for her. And I'm just like, welcome to the Florida humidity, because I literally understood that I was having the same issues with my hair. But you know what? I did not care. I did not care, because at that point it's hot, you're sweating, and you're just not really giving a flying fuck because you're just having a good time, like singing and enjoying the show. And it was just incredible. And then at the very end of the show, she had fireworks go off, which was just the coolest thing. But I was smart. During her last song, which was Karma, I was like, oh, Corey, we need to start to head out before she finishes. Because I knew we were still going to be able to see the finishing act where we were going. I just wanted us to get a little bit further down. I actually want to use this today. I just want to get us like a little bit further down, because I knew that getting out of there would have been really hectic. Corey had to work the next day, right? He had to work the next day. So I didn't want us like staying out. He had to work the next day. So I knew, I was like, we had to like try to leave just a little bit before she like literally takes her bow, because I knew getting out of there was going to be hectic, and getting on I-4 is just going to be a bitch. It's just going to be a bitch. But I was like, we got to do it. So we left during Karma. We started to just leave our seats and we walked down so we could still see the show. We just weren't seeing it from our spot. And I'm so glad we did, because by the time she took her bow, we were already like down at the very bottom. So I was able to walk over to the merchandise stand because there's no one there. And I was able to get the one sweater that I wanted to get that they didn't have anywhere else. So I was really excited about, because there's literally no one there. Got to our car before anyone else did. And we were able to bounce out of there before anyone else did. So we didn't have to deal with like any sort of like heavy traffic or anything like that. It was just truly phenomenal, and it only took us an hour to get home, which I thought was great. But let me tell you, there was like such a high coming down. I was on a high of the Taylor Swift concert for the whole weekend. Like, I was like such a high, and I watched Friday and Saturday on TikTok. I did, because I had to like see her again. It was just the most amazing experience. I'll never forget it. I'm just so really glad that I did that, and it was just the best time. Well, then on Saturday, which was her last day here, we went to Hard Rock, and that's where we went gambling. And oh God, I love gambling. Let me tell you I'm going to tell you that right now. I love the slots. I was actually winning money on the slots, by the way. I was up the whole time. I sat at this one machine, and I got 60 free spins at one point in one sitting. And there was this old man sitting right next to me, and you can tell, because he had gotten up at one point, right? He had got up. And he came and sat back down, because you could tell that he wanted to, I'm just going then just a little bit. He wanted to take my spot, because like when you see machine hitting, you obviously are like, oh, I want to sit on that machine. And you could tell that he genuinely wanted to sit on that machine. And I was like, oh, buddy, you were not sitting on this machine. Nope. So I wrote it out, and I'm glad I did, because I ended up getting up on that because I won so many free spins. And Corey's sitting next to me going, how are you doing this? And I'm like, I don't know. I think I had my mom's touch, because my mom has a beautiful touch when it comes to that. But we were at the casino, and it was so cool, because at one point, I don't know if you guys ever been to Hard Rock Cafe in Tampa, or I'm sure you guys have been to a casino at Hard Rock. There's just so many casinos everywhere. At one point, I was like, well, I got to go get coffee, because it is like 9 o'clock in the morning. I need coffee. And I'm in line to get coffee, and the amount of people that were there wearing Taylor Swift merchandise was just so hysterical. Like, I saw so many people rocking her merchandise. It's like, yep, y'all went to the show. You guys went to the show, like, no doubt. And it was just, I don't know, it was really cool to experience that. And then after that, we came home, and I took a shower, and we ate lunch, and then we ended up hanging out with Teresa and Alex, because on Friday it was Alex's birthday, but we weren't able to spend time together on Friday, so we knew we had plans to get together on Saturday. So we went to go hang out on Saturday, and we went to this restaurant. And we went to this restaurant, for some reason, it was like a torrential downpour outside, and it had not rained in a hot minute here in Florida. Yo, where we were at, this one lightning went right behind our building, and the entire restaurant went black for a second. Like, completely went black. Everything turned off and then turned back on, and I literally got scared and I just grabbed onto Teresa because I was like, I don't know what else to do. And I just grabbed onto Teresa and we just kind of sat there like, what the heck? And Alex is like, oh, it's because it's my birthday. And we just had a good time. We had a very good time. So that was my weekend, guys. I just wanted to tell you guys about this because that was my first like Taylor Swift concert ever. And it was one of the true best experiences of my entire life. And I just wanted to tell you guys about it because you guys are my friends. And I haven't really been able to tell anyone about it. I told Teresa and Alex about it. I didn't need to tell Paige because Paige was there herself. And she had phenomenal seats. Let me tell you that right now. She had phenomenal seats. And I'm so glad that she was able to go as well because we had been talking about it for months and months and months. And I'm so glad that she got to go. And it was just such a cool experience. So if I were to give anyone any suggestion, because I saw some of you guys in my DMs asking like how I got tickets and everything, I did do it unfortunately through resellers. I did, but I would just honestly look at like your area, if she's coming into your area, and try to see if you guys can find. I found the tickets a week before. Sometimes a week before is where it's at. People try to get tickets the day of. You could try to find face value tickets day of because some people just generally want to sell their tickets and not try to make a profit. They try to sell at face value. But you just got to keep looking. I mean, there's so many different websites like SeatGeek, StubHub, Ticketmaster, Vivid Seats, Game Time that do offer resellers. I will say be careful though because there is a Facebook group that one of my friends sent me to say go look at. And this Facebook group is supposed to be legit, but there's so many scammers on there. They're claiming to have Taylor Swift tickets. And then they're just having these people send money and then they're not actually like sending them the tickets. It's just fake. It's just a scammer. So I would say just be careful. Get it from a credited place. Like mine was protected and backed up by SeatGeek so that if anything happened, I would 100% get a refund. So that's why I went through them and I had such a great experience. I definitely recommend it. I don't feel like putting on false lashes today, by the way. Just not my thing. Not today. I would definitely recommend it though. But I'm not kidding when I say it really was such an experience. And I just wanted to share it with you guys because I was so excited. And, you know, it's been a hot minute since I've done like a Get Ready With Me. I think the last Get Ready With Me that I've done was back in January when I was kind of talking about like my struggles and whatnot, trying to find jobs, which, by the way, so disappointed. I applied to so many different internships with different brands. And I've gotten denied on every single one. Not even like there's no reason why. It just said that we are not moving forward with your application. So I was like, okay, I guess I can't do that. So then I actually, be proud of me guys, I actually started applying for some serving positions. Because I was like, well, I can do serving. I've done serving for 11 years. And I'm actually not getting calls back. And I'm actually getting the same thing where I'm getting rejected in my emails. And I'm like, what the heck? So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's like because of my availability, because some of these places are looking for 100% full-time availability. I have full-time availability because I am still trying to do YouTube, or if it's because of my YouTube. Because there are some places that are not really okay with like you being a content creator because they don't want you like putting anything out on the internet. So I don't know. Like I genuinely don't know. Because I talked to a different brand and I was like asking them like, you know, hey, does being an influencer, can that like hinder me? And they said, yeah, it absolutely could hinder you. Like it genuinely could hinder you from working with different brands because they might see you as being biased. And I'm like, are you serious? Like it's crazy. It's crazy. But I'm not giving up hope, guys. I'm not giving up hope. I have applied to quite a few jobs this week. I applied to more serving jobs. So here's hoping that maybe I'll get a call back from something because I could definitely use it. But yeah, that's kind of like the update on my life right now, guys. I just feel like I haven't really given you anything in the last 2 months because I know some of you guys have asked how the job hunt is going. It's going. It's going. I completely redid my resume now. So my resume is top notch. I mean, I like to think it's top notch, but maybe I just don't have the criteria. Maybe I don't have the availability, but I don't know. I don't know if it's because I do this. And unfortunately, like you do see on like my resume that I am a content creator. Like, I don't know what you're going to do. Like, I'm not going to lie about it. So I just don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm just going to take this shade Desert Rose. I'm just going to put that in the inner corner really fast. Oh, the Sephora VIP sale started and I actually am not buying anything from the sale. Like, as much as I want to, at the same time, I just don't want to spend the money. So I'm just not buying anything during the sale. So I have my wish list. My wish list will stay there. And maybe come December or something like that, when they do their other Sephora VIP sale, maybe I'll pick something up. Maybe I'll pick something up then. But I'm not going to pick anything up now. Just in case you guys are wondering, in case you guys are going to look for like a Sephora VIP haul video. Yeah, that's not coming. Sorry. But I definitely do want to do like another video soon where I try more new drugstore stuff. I'd love to do that. It's been a minute since I went drugstore shopping. It's been a minute since I went to the drugstore to find new drugstore makeup. I really have been loving drugstore makeup recently. I don't know what it is. I mean, one of my favorite foundations is the Revlon foundation. And you guys know how much I freaking love that. I actually wore that to the concert. And let me tell you, it lasted all freaking day. I have my favorite combo right now. Freaking am in love with this combo. You know what's so crazy is that I'm having a harder time finding this damn lipstick. I found it at CVS. So I bought it at CVS, but it's like, I don't know if what is going on with Almay. Does anyone know? Because I'm not seeing them restock this online at all. I have not seen them post anything new at all. Like, what is going on with Almay? I want to know, because I really do love their lipstick. And I just want to know what's happening, because I had a hard time finding more of their stuff. And I'm just like, well, dude, are you guys, they're not going out of business, are they? Oh my God, I hope they're not. Ta! Alright guys, we're going to zoom you guys out. Alright guys, and this is the final look. I have to say, I actually really have been enjoying this palette. This is kind of the only thing I really will talk about because I'm not reviewing anything, but I will say this is my first time playing with this brand, with this palette, and I actually really liked how the eyeshadow came out. I think it's really beautiful. I think the matte was super pigmented. The shimmers are really nice and easy to work with. I had no issues. This was a really, really nice palette, and I wasn't really sure about the brushes at first, but the brushes are nice. They're soft. They're not as soft as what I'd like them to be, but they're definitely soft and they get the job done. So what's a beauty? I actually like this collection. Thank you guys so much for sending it to me. Like I said, I'll make sure I link everything that I wore on my face down below, but I just wanted this video to be just nice and easy, just a simple chit chat, get ready with me. It's been so long since I've done that. I think, like I said, last time I did that back in January, and I realized what the heck is all over my shirt. There's like stains all over my shirt. I don't even know where that came from. But yeah, it's been a long time since I've done just like a chit chat, get ready with me. Sometimes I miss just talking to you guys, like without having to review anything or tell you guys about new launches or makeup or this and that. I just want to sit down and talk to you guys and just hang out with my friends. Sometimes it's all I want. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the style video. It was really nice for me. It's just been, like I said, a hot moment since I've done that, and I really missed it. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Sorry if I wasn't as, like, you know, animated and more outgoing when I tell you guys my stories. I just have such a pounding headache. I've taken medicine. I'm just waiting for it to go away. It is just, I don't know, one of those days, y'all. I woke up this morning. It was a torrential thunderstorm. It was torrential downpour rain, a thunderstorm, tons of lightning. Enough to make me want to go back to sleep, but I had to get up because Koa needed to go to the bathroom. And I don't know, I just have such a headache. It's just one of those days. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. I love you guys so much. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure you guys give this video a cheeky thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you guys have not already, because I do post 4 to 5 videos every single week. Make sure you guys head over to my other channel, to Art for Life. You guys get to see my cool, wonderful adventures, my amazing husband, Corey. And as always, the biggest thank you goes to these beautiful, wonderful Patreon members you guys see right here. Thank you guys so much for everything. And to my subscribers and viewers, thank you guys so much for being here. Whether you guys like this video, you guys thumbs down this video, you guys subscribed, you guys did not subscribe, either way, thank you guys so much for being here. I love and appreciate each and every single one of you. So with that said, guys, I love you, and I'll see you guys in the very next video.